Welcome to this explainer. If you've ever stopped and wondered exactly how the internet manages to stay afloat, completely avoiding collapsing under its own massive, ever-growing weight, well, you are in the perfect place. Today, we're demystifying NGINX. It's an absolutely indispensable piece of software that operates entirely in the shadows, but it's literally critical to your everyday digital experience. So let's just jump right in with a quick thought experiment. Picture this. Millions of users are trying to access a massive platform like Google, Amazon, or Netflix at the exact same second. We are talking about an astronomical tsunami of data being requested simultaneously. How on earth do these platforms survive that initial wave without just immediately crashing? To answer that, here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with the high traffic problem, meet NGINX, dig into load balancing and reverse proxies, check out some speed and security hacks, and finally look at NGINX versus Apache. All right, part one, the high traffic problem and the sheer scale of the web. Back in the day, a single server might have been enough. But today, no way. When millions or even billions of requests hit one traditional web server directly, it just can't cope. The computing power needed to establish a secure connection, process the logic, fetch the data, and send a response back for every single user at the exact same time is just, well, it's too much. The server gets overwhelmed, it bottlenecks, and eventually it completely fails. Your screen freezes, or you just get an ugly error page. Which leads us to part two, meet NGINX, the modern solution to this massive bottleneck. Enter NGINX. This tool is an incredibly lightweight, high-performance web server. It was literally built from the ground up to handle high-traffic environments and serve static content with absolute efficiency. So when that massive wave of 1 million users hits, NGINX steps right in to take the pressure completely off your sensitive backend systems. Actually, a really great way to think about NGINX is like an ultra-efficient restaurant manager. Now, the manager doesn't actually go into the kitchen and cook the food, right? Just like NGINX doesn't process heavy application logic or database queries. Instead, the manager stands right at the front door. They greet the huge crowd of incoming customers, figure out exactly what everybody needs, and brilliantly direct the flow of traffic to the right tables and the right servers in the back. Everything runs perfectly smoothly, and the kitchen never gets overwhelmed. Let's open up this manager's toolkit in part three, load balancing and reverse proxy. So its first massive superpower is load balancing. Remember those millions of requests? Well, NGINX sits in front of a whole farm of backend servers. When a request comes in, it uses some really clever algorithms to route that traffic. It might use round robin, just passing requests sequentially to server A, then B, then C, or it might look for the server that's currently the most idle and hand the request right to them. By distributing the load intelligently, NGINX ensures rapid access for every single user, guaranteeing no single backend server is ever crushed by the traffic. But wait, it doesn't stop there. NGINX is also a reverse proxy. This means it's an intermediary that intercepts internet requests. Why is that absolutely crucial? Because it keeps your actual backend architecture completely hidden from the public internet. The outside world only ever sees NGINX. They have no idea if you have 5 backend servers or 5,000. It acts like an elite security desk, protecting your sensitive backend from the wild west of the internet. Moving on to part 4, speed, security, and caching hacks. Let's start with a super common modern issue. The viral problem. Imagine a highly anticipated movie trailer drops, or national exam results just went live. Suddenly, hundreds of thousands of people are requesting the exact same piece of content at the exact same time. If every single one of those identical requests is sent all the way back to the database, it's a huge, redundant waste of computing power. It's going to slow everything down. And here is where NGINX works its magic as an HTTP cache. When NGINX notices everyone is asking for that same viral video, it simply keeps a local copy of that data right there in its own memory. So when the next 10,000 requests roll in, NGINX instantly hands them the local copy. It doesn't even bother the backend database. This saves a staggering amount of bandwidth and delivers split-second responses. Okay, next up is security, specifically a really cool trick called SSL termination. We all know sending data via HTTPS means it's heavily encrypted, right? But decrypting all that data takes a ton of mathematical processing power. If your backend servers have to decrypt every single request before reading it, they're going to bog down so fast. So NGINX handles the SSL termination. It intercepts the encrypted request, does the heavy lifting to decrypt it, and then sends the plain, readable request to the backend. The backend processes it, sends a plain response back, and NGINX re-encrypts it for the user. Basically, NGINX takes on all the math homework, freeing up your servers to focus purely on your business logic. Now, what about the actual data delivery? We live in an era of massive 4K video files and huge dynamic web pages. These heavy files pose a major risk of completely choking the network connection as they travel from the server to your phone. NGINX solves this beautifully through compression and segmentation. Instead of trying to shove a giant file through the internet all at once, which is basically a guaranteed bottleneck, NGINX breaks it down into manageable chunks, say sending it in 25% pieces. It dynamically compresses the data, streams the smaller segments smoothly, and totally prevents the network from choking. Let's wrap up our technical breakdown with Part 5, NGINX versus Apache. If you're prepping for an interview, this showdown is absolutely essential. The architecture here is fundamentally different. Apache uses a thread-based model, meaning for every single user request, it spins up a heavy new process. NGINX, on the other hand, uses an event-driven loop. It rapidly handles thousands of connections within a single, lightweight process. Because of this, NGINX is universally considered the best for serving static content directly from memory. And while Apache definitely holds its own for traditional hosting, NGINX completely dominates modern containerized environments like Docker and Kubernetes. Which brings us to our conclusion, the architecture of the web. We've covered a lot of ground today, but if you take away just one single thing from this explainer, let it be this. NGINX is the invisible, highly scalable middleman, making the high-speed web possible. Whether it's intelligently routing traffic, caching viral videos, breaking down massive files, or acting as an elite security guard, NGINX is executing all the crucial tasks your actual application servers simply don't have the time or power to handle. It really kind of blows your mind when you think about the incredibly complex, invisible architecture seamlessly powering our digital lives every single day. Seriously, the next time you tap a link and a high-definition video loads instantly on your phone, ask yourself, how many backend servers, algorithms, and security checks did NGINX just orchestrate in a fraction of a millisecond to bring that to your screen? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep exploring the hidden systems that run our world.